All right, guys, start getting your questions in regards to GMB SEO, local SEO. If you have a GMB that you would like for us to audit, drop the GMB link below, not the website. I could get you, I'll get a bunch of them because I got a bunch of them, but how important are services in the GMB, and should we be putting in all the full descriptions for those services, Chris? Let me go get some of these for you.
All right. So for services, depending on the type of business you have, is going to be greatly dependent upon how much we need to be leveraging the services. Now, obviously, when you're listing out your services, it's always going to list your primary category. In 80% of the cases for me, when I'm optimizing, I'm looking at that main service as the primary category. I want those to match. The only way I'm going to put in other services is if it's recommended. Like there are some services out there, like say, window installers, these types of services, these types, you need to add other specific words as your services. And these words need to be over on the website. And how you find these very specific words, because it's going to be wildly different than what you're probably optimizing around. But if you want that GMB to rank higher in these particular areas of business, and you're going to know this because, hey, it's inside a Google guarantee. Like, dude, if you're betting against Google, then you have to make sure that you're optimizing how they want. And how you find this is if you click on the reviews. I could show you guys, if you click on reviews, I showed this live numerous times, but if you click on reviews, it'll say, oh, do you know this business? And then you'll click down and it'll give you an entity box. Those need to go into your services, but not every business this is relevant for. All right. So do I fill out the description? You can. Clients love to see this. Is this optimal? No, it's unnecessary. But, if you want to, if a client wants you to, then, if somebody paid you good money to do it, then yeah, fill it out. But as far as being optimal, no, it's irrelevant. Just like the products. As long as you have the primary keyword in there and it's linking over to the right page, it's fine. Now, clients probably sometimes want to see it a certain way. That doesn't mean that you have to do it. No, you don't have to. Google doesn't care.
We're trying to concentrate on what's going to move the needle, and that's not one of the things that moves the needle.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly correct.
This is so common.
Well, and William, like some clients care, oh, you didn't do anything. Well, no, I optimized it. That's what I did. If you want to pay me an extra 2 hours to fill out all this stuff, that's fine. I'll do it, but it's double cost.
Like here to me, I just got, some audits, right? I'll give you an example. Like, am I going to fill the service, or am I going to actually put my GMB embed link on my contact page and homepage? Which one do you think I'm going to think is more important? Put my damn GMB as an embed on my homepage and my contact page. And for example, I just went to pull GMBs for Chris to audit, and I'll give you an example of what people do. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of 6 of these clients, only one of them have the GMB embedded on the homepage or contact page. So I just sent you in private message on Zoom one of the GMBs, Chris, if you want to audit that one. Oh, let's see. We audited it. Eric says we audited a GMB today, found a HVAC contractor was using competitor business names in their list of services. Does this provide any value?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was figuring this out.
No, it's called we audit. They said that's pretty slick, but we audited a GMB today and found the HVAC contractor was using their competitors' business names in their list of services. Does this provide any value or move the needle?
Maybe in the short term. I don't ever want to, like, if you're losing, does tying in the winners going to help me come up?
Yeah.
Yes, but if I'm on the rise and I'm at like number 4 or 5, am I going to start putting in their stuff when I'm running a lot of work? Nah. Maybe if you're behind, It's a great way to start getting a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, like depending how far behind you are, would you do something like this contractor versus this contractor reviews or something like that as a service? I don't know.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It says live, joining live Zoom.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not used to Zoom. So
I click this, I click share. Okay, that's good. And then I need to go into, go back to this. How do I get back to that screen? I'm sorry, man. How do I get into the,
you want me to send it in Facebook? You can do it that way.
how do I get the screen to pop back up? You know, that giant screen.
Give me
Where the
one
heck did that
second.
go? There you go. Kick it over to me. I never use Zoom.
I'm just going to do that. So it makes you stop sharing. No, you're good. You're still sharing, dude. You go over to meeting controls usually.
All right. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. How do I make it big to be able to start to go back to how about I just open it up
Just
and we start going? Because you could see my screen, you said, right?
yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. So that means everybody could see it. So we're good. And then right now it's on a handyman, right?
Yep, it's on handyman. You're good.
Well, then we're okay. Well, I'm good then.
There you go.
All right. So this is the asset. DC handyman, huh?
Yeah, someone sent that one over to me. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I don't know. I think some of the I'm just curious. I'd like to figure out like what is the primary for these guys? It's usually like the first step for me. I want to see like what's the winners doing. So I kind of need to be at least semi close to it in order to see this. So this is just 5 blocks. It's free. I'm sure there's a lot of better ones out there. This is the free one. It's quick and easy to use, kind of easy to use, I guess. There's maybe better. If you guys know a better one, let me know. But this is 5 blocks geo search. As far as the city is concerned, I'm looking for D space C. I don't see any DCs. How come? Right, then I don't really give a hell. I just want to take a look and see what these guys got going on. So you're winning the panel for the primary keyword. That's a winner. What else do you got going on in here? DC handyman, DC handyman. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm browsing.
No, you do like me, so that's the same thing. You want to look.
So we have the higher volume this way, but we're winning the other way around. So more people are typing it in this way. And on the other one, I'm winning the panel. Very smart. I like that. Very good. Whoever did this, good job. Smart. Very smart. And the panel pops here. So on the other one, you optimize the main GMV for the 170. On the 260, you're number 1. What's there to optimize? Why? I wouldn't touch this. I'm sure there could be improvements, but I'm not going to go in there and improve something that's already ranking. I don't want to touch it. When it falls, we'll redo an audit. But right now, like what there's no reason to audit this. You're winning. You're a winner. Yes. Next.
Yep. We'll get those occasionally. They'll come in and do that. Let me look at this one. I don't see any.
I mean, there's things I would change, but not for a winner.
Yeah, you're the same way as me. Even if the site's shitty, I'm not gonna change it. They get frustrated with that. It's like, go ahead, go ahead and change it yourself, but it's not gonna happen with me.
I mean, are we looking at websites too, or
if you want to, I can do either one. I got a bunch of them.
I mean, I like the GMVs are you know, I like the GMB. Plus, we could help more people with GMB. It's faster.
This one looks like more like a rank and rent. That's a rank and rent. I can tell just looking at y'all. Movers Pro, that's a rank and rent probably. Let me make sure. Yeah, movers. Yeah, I knew it. You're in a Regis building. You're a rank and rent. Why would you put your rank and rent in a Regis? All right, let me get another one. I'll go up here and do this. Yeah.
I mean,
Drop Daniel, if you got a GMB, if you have a GMB, guys, just drop your share link in the group and we'll go through those. I have a ton of them, but the ones that I had open to do is like 4 of them are rank and rents, and they're all in Regis buildings, which that's going to be part of my damn thing when I go to do the Loom video for them.
this is
Yeah,
gonna
that's
drive me
fine. That's a client, so just drop it. What's going to drive you crazy? Trying.
because I can't figure out how to open this freaking thing back up, man. I feel like I'm like,
I know. We'll get. I'll do it.
what button do I push? Can you tell me that?
Um,
Where do I go here? You can see my screen, right?
I can see your screen. I just go, let me share, one participant can share at a time. And I just go, yes, I stop your sharing. And I go, let's see, like that, share. And I just stopped your sharing. Now you're good.
There. Now we're back. Oh, it's because I'm allowed to share. It changes up everything.
Yeah, you just have to stop sharing is all, but it's
Oh. See,
not the
that's why
same.
Zoom's too tricky for me. It's probably just me. It's probably easy
Sure.
to get the hang of it.
All
I need
right,
some candy.
get here. Let me go ahead and I'll open it up.
I'm gonna eat some sugar. Let's
Go
get
from
it.
there. Financial Calgary.
Yeah, the DC handyman.
Here.
That guy's slick.
It's called Multi-Volt Services Electrician. Can you guys see my screen? It's a big ass wide screen, but y'all should be able to see it. Multi-Volt Services.
Yep. So you're managing the screen and I'm talking. How are we doing this?
Yeah, man. Electrician services, and you are in Carndale, Australia. Carndale, Australia. Electrician services, interesting.
What tool are you using to swap out the geos?
And the name of the website is Multivolt, which is going to be the site right here. Just multivoltservices.co.au. Let me get this real quick. Oh, okay. So I can see it better. Scan reports. Dashboard. Try to scan.
I love almond joys. Right, is right. Okay.
This is a 2.5 mile radius, so let's start with that. Run scan. This is going to be for electrician services. Services. Run the scan.
So you're gonna let Falcon tell us? I like Falcon. I used to like Viking, man. I think I'm with you on that.
Okay, electrician care now. I have him under number 2. Yeah, it's because you're using the geo modifier. I have him at number 2 across that area, but nothing else. So when you're not using the geo modifier, he's not ranking correct. But that being said, you still in the 2.5 mile radius, you're in, it's not completely red, so it's not hopeless. Okay, I'll wait for that to get done. So basically, let's wait for this. So I'll give you the report. It'll show me the points in the area. Come on, baby.
This guy's getting smoked.
See on mine, Chris, when I'm sharing, it says you're sharing your screen at the bottom.
Yep.
And then it has a red button that says stop share. I've never been on the other end of the stick, so I don't know what it shows you. But whenever you're sharing, there's a green button that says you're sharing, and then right next to it says stop share. So just waiting on this. If there was ever a better thing than Zoom, I would definitely go away from it. But
How many miles did you go there?
all right, so your average ranking position is 13 and a 2.5 mile radius. It wouldn't take much to bump it. So when I'm looking at this report, the only thing I'm really looking at is the data points. This is the main thing I'm looking at. These are data points. Your data points is at 84, right? To get into about 10, I need about 140. So I would then also do a citation audit, find out where your citations are at, backlinks, all that sort of thing. Let me see. Let me move this over here so I can see this better.
So you don't even go and look at the freaking thing.
Sucks not having my 2 screens down here.
I love you, man.
I can't hear you now.
You're like,
Chris.
you can't hear me?
No.
I was wondering why. I'm like, dude, is this
hear
dude
you.
ignoring me?
What's
You just
up,
can't hear me.
Chris?
It's funny. Oh, it's funny.
There you
I
are.
was talking the whole time.
Yeah, my speakers were gone. So go ahead and say whatever you say because I
So
did
you
not
don't-
hear it.
You don't even look at the freaking thing.
I look at certain things just to see what the data points are at, and then I'll go back to other stuff. Like I'll look at what's on the website. I'll look at what's popping up in, for example, in the knowledge panel, right? If I'm looking at the knowledge panel, give you an example. He knows exactly. So if I'm looking at the knowledge panel, this is the knowledge panel of, in my mind, this is what I say, GMB listing knowledge panel, right? I mean, y'all might not want to change this, but for me, this is electrician Brisbane. This is not even mentioning your geo modifier, Carnindale, even though Carnindale might be in Brisbane. I wouldn't, unless you're trying to rank for Brisbane, why are you mentioning Brisbane? That's just my thoughts. Brisbane, you got in there twice there so far. Just scanning through here. Not once in the description are you mentioning Carnindale, even though you're trying to rank there. Your post that says Brisbane, electrical works at Brisbane. There's Brisbane all over the place. So unless we're trying to rank for there, then the web results that you're having coming up are hitpages.au, LinkedIn. So the only strong, no Facebook page, no, none of the other typical Twitter, none of those. I don't see Facebook, none of it. Right. So now I'm even more curious.
Well, Brisbane's got to be where the does at. I assume.
Those links. The link tool I normally use is link-assistant.com. So, those are things I'm going to look for. But so LinkedIn. So I can almost guarantee you we don't have a Facebook page. But it says you have a Facebook. But there is no Facebook page that goes directly to contact us page. So you're broken. That's not even going to a Facebook page. You don't have a Twitter. You don't have an Instagram. It all goes to the contact page. Okay, so they're redirecting it to there. So you don't have none of your social, which means none of it's tied into your schema. And if it's not tied into your schema, you're not going, hey, Google, here I am, this is me. Those are all things I'm going to look for. You got LinkedIn, that's it, in this page right here. Now, if I go into SEO Spyglass, which I'll open that up and show that to you.
We do this wildly
Another
different.
little tool I like to use. Chris?
This is interesting. No, you do
Okay.
GMB audits wildly different than me. Like you're what?
Yeah.
It's almost you just do them different. That's okay. Wildly different. I'm looking at completely different things, which is interesting. This comes later for me. Doesn't mean I'm right.
For me, I look at both at the same time. And these are just, this is a mini quick audit. It's updating right now. That's why it's taking so long. It's called SEO Spyglass. So I can look at their competition and go, okay, what backlinks do they have that I don't have? Right? Because you're sitting around position 12, 13, okay, in a 2.5 mile radius. I'm just trying to get them to bump up. And if I can get them to cross 10, then I can get them in the top 3. Okay, come on, baby. I just updated. I'm just waiting on it. There we go.
So,
all right.
Can you hear me, William?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is awesome to me. So you've okay. We've established the primary keyword and we understand that, but you don't go looking at the main drivers of the GMB to start with that, and then wait a week to see what's going to land. You immediately go in and start hitting it with the links.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. Even with like when Chase was talking about on his thing, it's kind of like for me, I go, you're talking about just doing, putting, let's say, the conversion, that in there and doing a couple of tweaks. For me, month 1 is fix all the fucking technical SEO. So I'll run a technical SEO audit on everything. And then I'll also go look at the backlinks. And then month 1, we start the backlinks. I try to get as much of that shit done as possible, as soon as possible.
Of course. But I mean, just for the GMB audits, like if we're doing the GMB audit, it's tied into
the website for me. Like I'll look at, for example, we'll go back to it. I'm just waiting on these backlinks to pop up. But basically, on page, how is the GMB in any way related, shape, form, type? It's not pulling up. I can't do it. So I'll go back to the GMB. It's not going to pull up the backlinking tool.
But name of the business, primary category.
Yeah, give me 1 second and I'll pull it all up. So I'm back in the window. So for example, if I had the back end, they're using an electrician. I do look at things like this. So let's go for your main area is in Carndale. So I'll go over to maps. These are things I will do if I'm just looking solely at the GMB. Let's say electrician.
I gotta get some water.
Right back, William. Yep. So for example, I want to be using the same, whoever's in the top 3, I want to look and see what, if you will, categories are they're using. They're using electrician, they're using electrician, they're using electrician, they're using electrician. Everybody's using electrician. Sometimes you'll look at a GMB and you'll see other people doing other things. So you might be using electrician and the top 3 might be using something totally different. So whatever the top 3 are doing, I want to mirror exactly what they're doing. Same thing with their, if you will, their reviews. If I'm going to go buy reviews, get reviews, whatever, I'm going to mirror whatever they're doing. One thing, for example, this one you're right here, mainly because I got Carndale in. If I didn't have Carndale in, as you already saw in the report, you're not there. So who's there is these guys. So Evergreen Electrical, Stewart Electrical, this guy Amplify Electrical, right? And then they're using, if you will, electrical are in the top 4. So you notice that the keywords that they're actually using in the top 3 or 4 are actually not electrician and are not electric. It's not electrician services. It's all blah, blah, Evergreen Electrical, Stewart Electrical, Amplify Electrical, VJ's Electrical, and AV Solutions. Electric and electrician doesn't even cross the top three. It's down here at number 5. But these are electrical, and then you're down here with electrician. Okay, electrical. So the top 4, this interesting that they have that, but they're all using the same, if you will, I say that too much, but electrician category in the GMB. So if you go into Plepper, and then I can look at what other categories are also associated with, if you will, the term electrician, right? So I'm gonna pull the categories, look at the categories. There they are.
Do you stack the titles of the business if the client allows it?
If they allow it.
Yeah. And then do you minimize categories or do you stuff them?
No, I minimize the categories. I only try to stick around probably 2 or 3 of them. So like normally, if you're an electrician, what you'll have people do is, oh, I also do plumbing and I also do painting and I also do handyman. To me, I will never, ever do that shit. I will go, okay, if I'm an electrician and I was going to try to stuff this thing with certain categories, the ones I'm going to use are electrical installation service, electrical engineer, and that's about it. So those are I would use electrician, electrical installation services, and electrical engineer. That's it. I'm not going to stuff it with anything else that has nothing to do with electrical. If it's electrics, I'm going to use it. But if it's not electrician related, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to shove handyman, painting, havoc contracting, because I've seen so many. They'll go, oh, I'm an electrician. I also do all this other shit. And you'll come in there and you got 50 other things that have nothing to do with what you're trying to get ranked for.
Same with services.
And then I'll take the same thing, okay, for your category, and I'll mirror that into your pages on your website as your service pages, all right? And my service pages will then mirror back to my services, one to my GMB. That being said as well, give you one more thing. So for example, I'll also do the call out for the reviews, but we can get into the reviews. Like one thing I know Chris mentions, and a lot of times people I think miss it. For example, we're looking at this one, right? And if I go under reviews, you see something very bad here, Chris, at all? I mean, you praise it. Like what keywords are they mentioning in their reviews? Business and price. There's nothing about electrician or electrical services. Electrical is there in this one. So you got how many reviews here? Let's go back. You got 12 reviews and none of them, it's not calling a call out for electrician services or electrical. So we got electrical ones here.
Yep.
You got Hamish was professional. So let's see why they're saying business and price.
Well, there's another piece too. I want to show. I don't know if your guys about it. I'll show them when you get done here. Sorry.
No, that's cool because I just we'll breeze through this and I'm gonna let you take the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm gonna let you breeze through it too. So it's professional, nothing about nothing about electrician, nothing about electrical services. No, this is one electrician, one right here.
No location.
If you're not mentioning geo modifiers or nothing. Now, if you go to write a review, do you know this business? Do you use this business? Yes. And he's giving you this right here.
There they are.
Electrical power restoration, electrical outlet, fan installation, all these. So when someone's writing a review, are they using these and are these mentioned on your website?
Yep.
And he gives you all these other things. Are you mentioning any of this on your website whatsoever? And so we can go back here and let's go, okay. Let's go over to your website and look at it and see if you're actually mentioning, if you will. Let me pull this over here so I can look at it. So look at a light fixture installation. No. We're going to look for electrical power restoration. No. So basically he's going commercial electrician, industrial electrician, maintenance electrician, residential electrician, none of which are mentioned here. None of the services are mentioned here. So none of these services, there was one I did, and we probably, for an electrician, I probably had a good 30, 40 pages worth of just services. And you may be like, well, I don't want to build out that many pages. I just want to do, for example, commercial electrician. Well, I could do commercial electrician and then put all my services, these keywords that are here, right up in here, and hyperlink them over to pages without having to, quote unquote, put them in the menu. Because a lot of people, I don't want to put them in the menu. Then I'll have a pop out that goes down 30 freaking things. You don't have to. You put it in here. So, let's see what else we got here. So you see all these are all the keywords basically you should be concentrating on.
And those are the only ones you put in your services, and only particular businesses will have this option inside the reviews.
It's not always there because sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. It's just
Only
what he's
service
getting at.
businesses. It depends on the business type. And then
Let's
too,
go
like
back.
Google's just giving it to us, like they're
Yeah.
laying it out for us. Here you go.
If Google basically says, hey, this is what you should be writing about. And then, so let me go back over here to this report. So wonder what Evergreen Electrical has. So let's go to the number one person. He's got 80 reviews. So you got 12. He's got 80. Let's look at his reviews. Team, job, solar, air conditioning, competition, roof, fan, system, communication, all types of stuff. Now let's look at his. Do I use this business? Yes. See what's popping up with him? So same stuff, all this remodeling, electrical, ground installation, all this stuff.
He didn't catch any mirrors. I'm surprised by this, but it's interesting, really.
So that's that one. And then let's go to this one right here. RJ Electrical.
Got to get people in the reviews to repeat your primary keyword locations and those service entities. That's what you want people repeating. The reason why those boxes pop up is because 8 people said the word team. Yeah. So we need them saying your primary keywords, your secondary keywords, and the name of your business and your name. That's really what we want in there. That's what you guys are after. So when you're out there curating your reviews, that's what you need to get in there.
See, like in these, you'll notice we come up with team, right? They keep mentioning, okay, RJ, their team, Ryan and his team, Ryan and his work, Ryan and his team. Give a shit about your team. Talk about your location.
Yeah. Team where? In Brisbane. Yeah. Something. Yep.
Ryan and his team in Brisbane. You know what he's talking about. You don't have that.
You want to take over Brisbane? Go buy 50 reviews that contain the best, whatever.
Brisbane, best electrician, Brisbane, or wherever you're trying to rank for.
Yeah.
But and then after all that little stuff that you think is little, looking at those reviews and do you got images and stuff like that, that's when I go, okay. For example, over here, homepage, your social links, these need to be taken care of. You need your actual social pages built out. I post on my social media. I mean, I tell people we don't offer it, but you need to be posting on your social media, at least have the pages built out. Electrician, Brisbane, Southside. So when someone types in and they're looking for, just for me, I don't know, maybe different, but if I was going to type in electrician and I was in Brisbane, would I type in electrician Brisbane Southside? I mean, is that an actual term that someone would look for?
Not even typing in Brisbane.
Or would they be typing in this? Or would I want to put, best electrician? I don't know. It depends, because a lot of people will put in these other words that has nothing to do with it. And then let's go over here, just out of curiosity. So your H1 is home. And electrician, Brisbane Southside. For me, the fact that this home is even an H1 is a big no-no. And it might not be a big deal to some people, but for me, I'm like, you're telling Google your very first H1 is home. I'd want my only H1, only one, and I'd only use with the main keyword there.
And that first H2 should be near me.
Yeah.
And Brisbane shouldn't be there. People in Brisbane are in Brisbane, And then for your other heading tag, start putting locations in there. But people standing there, if your focus is GMB, we don't need to tune with the tag in there. It needs to go in the title tag, but that first H1, just go for the keyword or a variation. But I think you're brilliant with the one page, one location, because you can really get in there. Is this guy targeting, or this gal perhaps, are they targeting more than one locale, or is it just
No, it's
Brisbane?
just that it just looks like Brisbane.
I don't see not one near me in any of those heading tags.
Yeah. So if I go and you're trying to look for it, there's no near me. There's nothing ever mentioned about near me. So for me, one of the things I do, for example, these are all going to different pages, right? But you have the button, which is linked. Let's open this one just to see. So your URL structure just says commercial electrician. I would have put, if it was my deal, I would have changed this for services, and I would have mentioned the geolocator or the location, commercial electrician services, wherever you're at, Cartondale or Brisbane. You make a choice, but I would be mentioning it, and you're not mentioning it in the URL structure. Then another thing I would wind up doing, these little H2s down here, these should be hyperlinked to the page, not these buttons. This button just says commercial what, industrial what, maintenance what, residential what. I would hyperlink these, connect these over. Another thing I'm not seeing, there's no internal linking on this page at all using text. Not one. I'm scanning through it real quick just to see, and you have no internal linking. Let's see what else. Emergency electrician. Is it mentioned in Brisbane or Carnondale anywhere in here? Nope.
No map.
No map embed. I have this embedded here.
And that's probably site wide. Those are the same ones, right?
I don't have the PDF like we always do down here. I don't have text reviews. See, I would have this, but I also have text reviews. And then I hyperlink them over to the actual users. Let's see, commercial. Just see if that is site wide with the GMB real quick.
Always be careful with those widgets. I don't know whose site this is, but that's adding to the source. I don't know if that widget does that, but sometimes that'll.
No, it's all right. We use them. That's actually the main widget I use for.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, because we try to keep them very fast with the core vitals, all that stuff. So it doesn't slow anything. But she's not using it site wide. You're done for use just out of curiosity. So your frequently asked questions, just no location mentioned. Electrical work. There's nothing about an electrician, just electrical, which is fine. Electrician here. There's no location in there. There's no location in here. You only have 3 of them. I could scrape, fucking 10 facts in 5 minutes or less using the scraper. The scraper I use is Simple Scraper. It's an extension, and you just scrape core questions, and you can turn those into facts using Jarvis. Let's go to contact us. Do you have on your contact page your embedded GMB? No, it's not on the home page. It's not on the contact us page. So when you're looking at a website, I want to be able to say, okay, Google, this is the entity that you need to be ranking in Brisbane or Carnondale for electrician or electrical services. And how are you going to tell them that when you don't have in your schema, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, you ain't got none of that. So I can pretty much guarantee you ain't got your citations, you ain't got your articles, you ain't got your press release. You ain't got none of that stuff. On your contact us, you're taking them to a contact page personally. You could do that. The book now takes you to a contact page. So to me, that whole top bar is a waste of fucking space. I would get rid of this thing. We're Monday through this with these social with Book Now. Book Now takes me to the damn contact page. Why not have Book Now? I would have removed that, have contact us be actually Book Now, and they click on it and it's a phone call. Why are you taking them to a form? Most people don't want to fill out a form. Forms to me, I mean, I understand why people use them, but they're kind of useless. Like that call now, that's going to work better to me. Most people want to call you. They don't want to get out in there and fill out a damn form. If they're going to fill out a form, most of the time they want, okay, I just want to give you my name and email address. I don't even want to give you my phone number most of the time. So if you want to increase your leads, change this from contact us to call now, and watch your calls go up when you go in the back of the GMB and you're looking at your call tracking, and you'll notice that your call tracking is going to go up, because now instead of having them fill out a stupid form, they're going to be actually trying to call them. Maybe they like forms. Some people will, some people don't. But another thing you'll also do, you see, so this is a CTA, this is a call to action, right? Contact us, call today here. Then you stop doing it and you go, like right here, I would throw in another one. Emergency electrician, I would have thrown in another one. I'm in an emergency and I need to contact you and I'm right here. I can guarantee you most of the time they're like, I don't know how to contact you. Another one right here.
Fastest.
I just told you about my business and I have nothing that says call now.
That's
you got to
the
tell
#1
people
thing,
to
man.
do. Yeah. Tell
First
people to
thing I
do. Dan Kennedy talks about that. He's like, you want to tell people what to do. You have to tell them, you know. So locations, they got all these other locations on here. And let me look at them, but you know, this is not a location page the way it's kind of it's kind of sort of like what I would do. Which is, I mean, it's interesting. I'll give you that. I mean, for me, this is what I've been telling them. Say, okay, if I am going to try to get ranked in Brisbane, my location page is going to have, this is just going to be locations, Brisbane, or in your case, Carndale. Let's go over here. So this is the only one that should be on this website to me, right? If you're trying to get ranked in Carndale, right? And we go Carndale Electrical Contractors. You have all this information in here. And then I have my testimonials, and I have this, then I have all this, and I have all the neighborhoods that are in that area, right? Then I have about Carndale, I have all that information. I have the neighborhoods in it. I have things to do in it, which is, you know, that's all appropriate. Then I have contests, but you have no, I don't know if you have them in there, but you have no transit or bus stops in Carndale here, which I would have had in here. But then you have in all these other locations. So I would, your #1 is Camp Electrician Camp Hill. Let's go over here. Just out of curiosity, run another keyword scan, and I just want to see it. So if I go, I just want to see it for my own purposes, just to see. So you have all these other locations. At one point, I've had clients that want us to do this. So we had started doing some of these where we would, I think people got mixed up, as like your location is in, let's say, Carndale. So they'll take all the other cities around that area, or all the other suburbs in Australia around that other area, and put them in there. What I've told them, I said, what I personally would tell you to do if you want to do it, let's say you take Dallas or Brisbane, you take the neighborhoods and you create neighborhood pages if you want, not location pages. Your location is in Carndale. Neighborhood pages are not something that is for a drop down. Neighborhood pages would be, for example, if I come down here, instead of this going to GMAP, it would go to an actual another page. It's about that neighborhood. I don't particularly care to do that because I want this to pop up into the GMAP of that area. I'm trying to pull in assets from Google about that area, Carndale, GMaps, embeds, all that stuff onto my website. So that's the main thing I'm going to try to do. I mean, continue scan. So there's no results for that. It Camp Hill Electrician. So to me, it's not getting no traffic, but I'd check in the back end in GSE as well just to see. But
And did you sort by population?
all that stuff. So it's like if you go to for example, if you wanted to get Brisbane, and if we wanted to go to, for example, we go Brisbane, population, it's
There you
2.2
go.
million. But if I go to Camp Hill, 11,000. So you really want a page for that? Carndale. Let's do that. Carndale.
See having a page for Brisbane and maybe Camp Hill, but I don't know about
15,000.
You want to hit those little ones, put them on subdomains.
Yeah. What he's saying, for example, you could do subdomains if you really wanted to do it. But if you really want to do it, just go after damn Brisbane. Leave this other rinky-dink crap alone and get a rank for Brisbane.
Yeah.
So, because, for example, if you got ranked for Carndale and you got 15,000 people and you probably have about a 3% conversion, if that. Let's just see what 15,000 times 3% is. All right. I'm just giving you numbers. So it's 450 searches, which is still decent. Okay. This, if you got 450 clients out of the entire population. You see what I'm saying? So if I broke it down to even 1%, if you even 0.1% of the population, which is probably going to be, even that's pretty rare, you're going to get maybe 2 clients out of that entire population. Whereas if Brisbane's, let's say 2 million, and I get times 1% of that population, I got 200 clients. So it's harder to get ranked a lot of times, but is it which one's worth it? Which one's going to give you more bang? Which one's going to make the client happier? Which is going to make the leads better? So if I have to push leads, how many of these people are actually going to call my ass? So those are all things I'm going to look at when I'm looking at just overall keyword research. I would even go into Google Trends. We're getting into stuff that's outside of, if you will, a typical audit. But if I'm a business owner and I'm going, okay, electrician, and let's go over to trends real quick.
In the word cloud, I saw words like sanctuary and stuff like that's.
So we go to Australia.
a lot of terms. The density has to be off on that page compared to the competition.
So if we go to Australia, electrician, let's just say over the present 5 years or whatever. So your best bet, I wouldn't even personally have, if I was a quote unquote, just looking at trends, the number one trending area is Victoria.
Makes sense.
Okay. And even in Victoria, it's Geelong. So these are all things that just, if I was a business owner, where am I going to want to put my business? I know they're where they're at, but I'm just telling you, that's another thing I would look at. But overall, so we've already went through this. You have no contact us on this. You have some of your H1s, H2 messed up. You don't have no internal linking. Let's go to images even.
I love Australia though. Don't you?
I've never been, not yet, but now that I got my visa, I'll probably be traveling.
For working on sites though, like working on the sites, like I love.
Yeah, Australia has a ton of suburbs and a ton. It's not like, but it's easy because I have a couple of clients that do it. But
you get away with so much more. Like I have a client in Melbourne, and it was very fun. We had a lot of fun over there.
So let's look at. Is it mobile friendly? I mean, we can get into all that as well. That's another thing I do look at. I do look at the, core vitals, the page speed. I mean, a little bit of all of it. So then I'll also look on the back end, check it on schema. What do you have going on in here? What are you not? What are you missing? Your social links. It says you have Facebook, but I have yet to see a Facebook page. There's not Facebook mentioned on here. Like a lot of people will go, okay, for example, let me show you this guy. So
The link.
you're looking here, and we go to show you. Go
I
back
think she had a
here.
link up at the top.
Yeah, but it does. It's linked to her contact page.
Oh,
So if you go here, you should see Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those different things, right? I'm going to show you, and you don't in the knowledge panel, right? You're not asking Q&As. There's only 3 Q&As. I mean, your categories right here. I mean, there's so much stuff. Your categories are just mentioning your service pages. You're not mentioning none of the keywords that are in the reviews. So let's go over here. This is an old client that I got ranked. They're still a roofer in Jacksonville, quality discount roofing. It's an old client of mine. So notice anything?
mhm.
So this is popping in here because obviously they use it, and then on top of it, you know, it's in their schema and everything else. So that's why I push that a lot. But let's go over to mobile friendly test. It's not mobile friendly. And the page speed, we'll wait on that if they'll let me do it, and it fails page speed. I don't even really look at G2 metrics anymore. I look at this. I want to know what the core vitals are, and I want to fix all that shit. And a lot of times it's because of your coding. It's about, is it a template? Sometimes I can still get this to pass, and my thing is I want this in the high 90s, and I want it to be lightning freaking fast.
Do they give us a waterfall here?
At all.
Or what do they call it? I mean, maybe they call it something else. Do they show you which thing is slowing it down the most?
No, and that's in G2 metrics. That's why most people will use that. But they'll show you like this. Okay, diagnostics. This is what it's going to show me. Okay. About the text being, you know, what web font you're using, what your content, main threads. Excessive DOM is generally what slows everything down almost all the time,
Mhm.
which all has to do with the themes and everything else usually.
WP Rocket.
And which is crap. I would trash that, and I can almost, I don't want to say I could guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee if I put NitroPack on here, this would be in the 90s with just me installing NitroPack.
You prefer NitroPack over WP
Love,
Rocket?
I will not touch WP Rocket, dude. I will not.
Okay. Well,
I've had NitroPack where and the only reason is I've taken WP Rocket, used it, and it breaks shit sometimes, which,
that's a fact.
you know, and
That's
then
a fact.
I've taken it off, and then it's fine, and then I put in NitroPack, and I've never had an issue where I have to go in there and I mess with the settings and all that stuff. NitroPack does it, makes it fast.
It just works. I'm
just
gonna
works.
I'm gonna have to try that out. I've never tried it. Just been
Yeah,
riding with the same.
it's a free version up to I think 15,000 clicks a month. If you get more than 15,000 visits a month, then you have to start paying. But it's fast as shit. And I got turned on that by Graham, who actually lives in Australia. Because I used to sit here and struggle with this. I got to get this. I'll get the image compressor, and you compress the images, and you think that's fixed, and you get this and the smush it and all that, and
it becomes a lot.
It's a lot of work, and then I can go, let me install NitroPack,
and then done.
and then it's
I
done.
like that. No, I'm sold.
So, let me go back to here. So your page speed. So there's just a lot you could do. That's when I'm looking at everything, I'm going to do that. And then, like I've shown people, when I go to close a call or I go to close a client, I show them, hey, here's where your competition's at, and here's where you're at, and here's how much it's going to cost for me to get you there, and here's how long it's going to take me to get there. I use Cloudflare, but I don't really mess with that anymore. I mainly use WordPress Engine. I use WordPress Engine for all my hosting because basically you're not getting into my shit. You know, there's things about Cloudflare. Me and Chris didn't even talk about. You can still crack Cloudflare, even though people think you can't. You can still do it. So it's not necessary. Some people, I need to put on Cloudflare so it's faster. Just put the bitch on NitroPack. Or WordPress, WordPress Engine is very fast hosting, but it's also very expensive. So All right, let me go through some of these questions. So that would be how I personally do audits.
It's kind of
Chris is a
strange.
trip. They have the ones where it's a virtual meeting too. That is freaking awesome about the services and the reviews. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's what service based. It's not with every category. So are you service based or not?
Yeah,
Um,
service based. Yeah, that's kind of
how do you get a reviewer to say what you want? I tell them, hey, please, and then give them a little bit of incentive. Do they like
an incentive.
Starbucks?
I like
Do
that.
you like Starbucks, John? Let me take you out for Starbucks. I sent this Starbucks thing in there. Matter of fact, while you're in there, can you please drop me a nice review talking about our electrician services in Carndale? And I'm not giving them an incentive. I'm just telling them thank you so much. And I know my customer, and I know he likes Starbucks.
You don't buy
So
reviews. You don't buy reviews for your clients to give them a boost
we actually create our own reviews
with their acknowledgement,
Mm,
obviously. Yeah.
mm. So
Yeah.
we just I'm trying out a different method right now with them, but we just got some nice Gmails from Russia,
That's the best, of
the
course.
best,
Yeah,
and
man.
they are sticking like glue. So I'm really excited for what we're seeing. So
Beautiful.
once these, I'm testing out just on 10 out of like 200 something right now, but once once I see it, then I'm probably going to be changing the way we do SEO altogether with what we're testing. I'm going to, when I say changing what we do with altogether with SEO, I mean cutting out the fat. If I ain't got to do it, why am I going to do it? Is what I'm saying.
Amen, William. I'm with you,
I
man.
don't have to sit here and do 50, tons of press releases, tons of blogs. We're actually getting ready to automate all of our blogs too. So everybody be getting 5 blogs a month. Um, this is not official yet, so don't keep me on it, but basically it'll be automated every week and don't have to touch shit. Where can you buy reviews? You have to go find them. I would not even tell you, you don't even have to necessarily buy reviews. You want to, Chris went over, he has a course. So if you want to know how to create reviews, go to Chris's course. He talked about reviews and learn how to do your own reviews.
That's the long way, but
Yeah.
it works.
If you want to do it yourself, if you just want to buy them, I mean, I get people all the time says, "Sir, I'm a review provider." I'm surprised if you're in my group, you haven't been bombarded with that shit. I get it all the time. It's a delete, delete. So yes, it's a good keyword. Great, Patrick. William, what Chrome extension you're using on the site? Chris used to use it. Uses another one now too. That's SEO Meta in one click. Daniel, we work in massive cities. Awesome. Patrick, Chris, how do you know a link is site wide and when you want it site wide? Let me go through it. Internal linking. When you're building out location pages, you link back to the pillar content for the service pages. Or, for example, if you're going to do a blog, the blog's going to be about, let's say, Carndale, then obviously you're going to link back to the location page. I'm going to write blogs about the location, link it back to location page. Matt says, great info, really great. Thank you. Danielle, on mobile display, there's a call button icon. Perfect. But that's perfect because you're on mobile. Mobile, you need to be fast, you need to have that because it's about 80-something% of all searches come from mobile. If I'm looking for a service, I'm not on my computer most of the time, unless you're older. When I say older, I mean, let's say 50, 60, 70. If you're 40s, 30s, or younger, you're not going to be on the damn desktop most of the time. If the main city has 200K and all the main suburb areas are 20 to 30K, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go after the big city. Daniel, thank you for that. I've missed a couple of dumb things like the social links. That's why you need 2 sets of eyes. So always have 2 or 3. My boys will miss something, and then I'll go through it and I'll look at it and I'll have them in here and I'll literally say, okay, what's up with his H1? What do you see is missing? I'm not even going to tell him what's wrong. I want him to tell me what he thinks is wrong so we can resolve it. So I'm trying to teach people how to think. A lot of times when you tell people, hey, this is wrong, well, you didn't teach them why it was wrong. You're not teaching them how to think. So next time when they ask, Chris says to everyone, a good guy to get reviews from is Muhammad Zaire Rahman.
Oh,
And you'll always hear
well
these
said,
names.
man.
So
That was good, bro.
yeah,
You did good there.
yeah, you should hear my son. So he can do it too.
That guy zips them out. That guy's pretty crazy.
If you want to buy them, then go for it. But then Patrick, on desktop, do you take down the call now button? No, I don't. Because there are people that use it still, believe it or not, there are people that use it. So let's see, anything else we got going on here? That's about it, really. I mean, whenever I'm looking at stuff, so that's how I look at things.
That was a quick one today.
Yeah. So quality discount, that's multi-volt. Any more questions? Any more questions? We're about done here. William, the training and the GMB pros on location pages. Send me the link, Eric, inside of Rank Fortress support. If you could go to rankfortress.com, go to support, submit a support ticket to William, and then send me the link that you're talking about. Because if it is, I'll redo it. Because there is a method in there in which I talk about neighborhood pages. It's not something I necessarily do anymore. What about site-wide links? Are they important, and why or why not?
Site-wide links going to your most important, fastest selling or most profitable, most important pages, in my opinion. It's very important. I want to get the most amount of internal links pointing to a page that I really, really want to rank, because we know that 3 internal links is just like building an external link. Plus Google anchor text. A tags are a signal. So the amount of keywords inside the A tags within a page is a signal. It's a ranking signal. So yeah, I love site-wides, especially going to specific pages I want to rank. Yeah, Quora. I mean, I have Quora. If you run correlation analysis on, tons and tons and tons of SERPs, there's certain particular factors that are correlated very heavily across pretty much every SERP. DUI lawyers, divorce lawyers, chiropractors, any of this stuff that I'm in, and I see, at least in my niches, yeah, A tags are important. So yeah, site-wide is very important, especially going to pages I want to rank. And go check out for yourself. Like if you go into anything competitive, like actually competitive, you'll see top performers have a lot of internal links pointing to a page. Yeah, you want a quick win? There's 2 things I like to do. The first one is exactly what William said. Clients want calls. First thing I'm going to do is go flood the site with call me buttons. Next thing I'm going to do is jack up the internal links going to the pages that he wants to rank. And then I'm going to wait. That's usually that's step 1. Heck yeah. And then we'll obviously optimize the pages, optimize for density, but there's a massive list, and I'm sure we could talk about that another day.
Something that was mentioned, because I just had someone else ask me this directly. So Ruan had mentioned a question before on the live we were on the other day, which is probably what I'm gonna reach out to Ruan about it. But Ruan and me had actually talked, and y'all had mentioned, he's like, okay, Chris and everybody else. I mean, it's the only way I can explain it. Yo, how much you sell a site for, Chris?
Website with SEO?
Yep.
Depends on the client.
Okay. Most people, like I think Ron and I mentioned, let's say 3,000 or 4,000. That's just like an average for a site. I've seen people do 10,000. You live in America.
Usually 6.
So
$2K a month. Got to sign up for 3 months.
People are like, how can you do it so cheap? So for example, $1 is worth 50 over here. So when I'm charging $150 for site, I just made 17,000 pesos. And then on top of it, it's a loss leader. Another example for you, Ruan, he mentioned in the live or the other day, because this is one of the things I mentioned before, is like, for example, Ruan earned 7 figures, but Ruan does not profit 7 figures.
Nah.
Ruan's overhead on a monthly basis, he mentioned, was over $70,000. So he grosses 7 figures and almost pays 7 figures just to do it. So he barely breaks even doing it. Whereas, okay, for someone like myself, I'm over here, I gross over 1.4 and I break profit of over 1. So because my cost of living, my cost of employing, my overhead, all that's so much freaking cheaper.
You're
So
the
I
top
don't,
1%.
yeah, I don't have to sit there and go, here's a $4,000 website. He uses Duda, and a lot of them will use that for scale, so can they produce a lot of websites, because I can probably guarantee he doesn't have 40 something employees, because if he did, he'd be paying a hell of a lot more than that for monthly income. So
I think
our
he has
monthly,
13. That's
yeah, and
it.
even that's, my boss, I remember he used to have, we had almost 80 something employees. He paid over, 200,000 a month, or every pay period. So almost $500,000 a month.
Hey,
So
I wanted to ask you something, because I only have a few clients. Some are, most of them are multi-location, but here's what I'm curious of. Have you noticed in the last 45 days any kind of drops? Not GMB, organic, not on all pages, just on some. And
well, we mainly track
GMB.
GMBs, so I don't really track quote unquote organic for the most part. Unless the client wants us to, and most of them don't want us to for whatever reason. They just go the maps. So the ones that do, it's just, let's say 20% of our clients. Now I haven't seen nothing crazy.
No, yeah.
If I'd seen something crazy, I would have messaged you and said, Chris, what's going on, bro?
Well, like I have a couple DUI attorneys, a divorce attorney in Houston.
Yeah, I don't deal with attorneys like that. So
a lot, but what I'm noticing is on some of those supporting location pages where we utilized some AI. It's not like a massive drop, but I'm noticing on the AI pages. So the top level pages are clean. A good writer wrote those, but on the supporting content, it's not spun, but it's AI.
Well, see, and it's like, let me ask you this. So when are you using AI? Because I heard them talk about this, I think you were in the class or the group class the other day, but when you're using AI, are you having a writer put it? Okay, so when you say AI, are you just throwing it into AI and the AI spits it out and copy and paste?
No. You still need to optimize.
So you're optimizing it. You're using Surfer or something after the AI does it?
Well, we optimize based on competitor. I don't.
So what we normally do,
Unsold content, we use Surfer.
So we'll use the Jasper to write the content, or Jarvis, wherever you wish to call the thing. But
yeah,
after we do that, then we have our content editors go through it, edit it, make sure it passes Grammarly, Copyscape, and it flows good. So I mean, I've not had an issue with it, and we produce close to 20 million words of content a month. I mean, we're cranking it like crazy. I added over 100 clients this past week. So
hey, you made me have to edit. You're funny. Like I had a person come to me and I had to edit certain elements because they're like, well, and they pointed to you, and I'm like, dude, I can't compete with Philippines. Like. So I had to
tell people
just
outsource to me, and then you can sell it for however the hell much you want to sell it for.
That's fact. That's true. Well, but I think our processes.
My audio, I just lost it again.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to do that, but your process is
system. Oh my.
Uh-oh. Well, damn, I was having fun too. I thought we were going to do GMB audits, man. You had me all excited. I was like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Dude, I was excited, man. And now it's time's up. Now I have to like do actual like work. Oh, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I
So
actually
Tom, when you were on with Chase, I was like, y'all are done in an hour, and y'all were like, we're done? Because like Chris is just getting warmed up, bitch.
yeah, like I was like, dude, this is well, he asked me, like we talked during the day, we were discussing like tools and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's when we discussed like, hey, he's like, I want you to come on. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But dude, then like we get on there and like we didn't help anybody. I'm like, dude, this is nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
that's where it's like we got 50 eyeballs on here, and all y'all
yeah,
do
like,
is
dude, you just wasted all. To me, it was like, you just
that's
wasted
why
time.
I was like, when they called me on, I'm like, why are y'all calling me on? And then we got on there and they were just shooting the breeze. I'm like we're best friends or something. I'm like,
Bro,
we
when
haven't talked for
I
like
was like,
months.
what's up, man? And you were I was
Yeah, so I'm like, we haven't talked for like almost a year, bro. And
Yeah.
then you call me up out of nowhere.
yeah, him and I talked, and he, he's cool.
Yeah.
He's all right.
All right, random number generator 1 through 20. We got 1
13.
through 20.
1, 3.
Chris is number 13, so get him in
Chris put
here.
13. Thanks, Patrick. I like Patrick. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
If Patrick's like a Stanford or a Harvard graduate, I wanted Patrick to come help me, but then when I found out he was like from Harvard, I'm like, dude, I can't afford a Harvard freaking guy. Like, come on. I'm looking for like, $475 a month kind of guy, like a VA.
All right, random number generator 1 through 20. 1 through 20. 8.
13. No.
8 is the closest. So Bob is number 8. Bob is number 8.
All right,
Bob H. Message me. You go to rankfortress.com. Top right hand side. It says support, submit a support ticket. The only one I'm going to tell you is off limits is the 10 sites that's $3,000. That's the only one that's off limits. You're not coming in there getting 10 sites for free. I'll give you one.
I want that one.
I'll give you one, but I'm not going to give you 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Awesome.
Drop it in at support. You just literally go right here.
Are you selling the YouTube method yet?
No, sir.
All right.
But I will talk to you.
Whenever you're ready.
Just don't go nowhere, Chris. Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's the sign in. All right, guys, just message me. Class is done. Let me stop this.